In this daily drop, I'm going to talk about my continued journey to finding an inexpensive and reliable solution for bringing 2 camera feeds in 4K into my computer for live streaming and recording. So let's go. All right, everybody, Wednesday here in the barn. I am shooting this again because I've been doing some testing with Ecamm Live, and the previous episode that I just shot was muted in terms of audio. So now you should be able to hear me, and well, you're not going to see the other episode anyway. All right, so the Debilita 4K 30 capture device that I covered in yesterday's episode. Unfortunately, it seems to be a no-go. I've gone back and forth with the company a few times, gracious enough to answer my questions on Amazon and quick to reply, but they keep saying it should be able to do it, and regardless of what cameras I use, I've used more than one brand, set up the camera in different ways in terms of frame rate, in terms of other settings, I cannot get this particular computer here to see a 4K signal coming in. And if I plug in that little CamLink 4K USB-A capture device, I immediately can see when I record in something like QuickTime Player, a 3840 by 2160 recording. I've gone into OBS as the company had recommended, but the reality is it's still just 1920 by 1080. I can set up a 3840 by 2160 project. I can scale that to that canvas size. That does not make 1080 4K. Technically does it, sort of, but it's just upscaling, and obviously the quality is going to be compromised. So this is getting set up for an Amazon return, unfortunately, but the journey continues. A couple of comments with today's episode talking about this particular device, one of which had 2 potential solutions. One was a capture card from Blackmagic Design. That's a no-go in this situation, though it would be a good solution if I had a desktop chassis with PCI, slot. But I'm using a MacBook Pro, so that's not really an option for me. The second one was, why not just get 2 CamLink 4Ks and hook those up? And I could do that, but I am finding that 4K CamLink device, the USB-A, HDMI to USB-A one, is, I said in the comment that I replied to, reliably unreliable or unreliably reliable. And what that means is it's working about 70% of the time, but there's lots of times where I'll fire stuff up and I'll get a green screen in terms of the feed, I'll get a black screen, I have to restart everything, unplug, plug in, disconnect, connect, the whole 9 yards. And then all of a sudden it wakes up and I'm okay. Well, that doesn't put confidence in, at least for me personally, buying another one of those devices and then running that through, let's say, a USB-C hub, so I'm not taking up 2 ports on my MacBook Pro. So what I've done is I have ordered a couple of additional products. One is a single, larger than the CamLink 4K input, which is supposed to handle up to 4K 60. Hopefully that will see the signal properly. I mean, that CamLink has been out for a long time. So you would think at this point in time, we would have a device with the processing power that we have with these computers that would allow me, like I thought this one would, to bring 2 4K signals in and be able to live stream or record them. So I have one single input device, and then I have a dual input device from OSEE, which I'm also getting in. I think both of them will be in before 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. So most likely tomorrow I will shoot an episode for Friday, last episode of the week, episode 310, I believe, which will give you my findings. And we'll see where I wind up with this particular solution overall. I'd really like to be able to bring 2 feeds in. Right now, I'm actually recording with Ecamm Live, and the only issue I have with that is there are some shifts in terms of the signal that comes in. So I find that what you're seeing is a little bit different than if I record directly to camera or I record in something like QuickTime Player. But those files are large and I don't have the ability to switch and all of that. I can't even do this where I can just go ahead and take the same camera feed and I can set up, you know, two different zoom levels. Let's just say that. That's the way I'm going to say it right now. All right, so more to come on this little journey, and I will keep you up to date on what I'm doing. Hopefully I get this sort of worked out this week, so next week into more content creation, setting up some tabletop stuff and things related to a bunch of content I have coming up. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.